true point man for engaging for Golden Guardians and making this whole team comp come together in the last pick is going to put a lot of pressure on him, but also a lot of importance on his flash cooldown. I think Hauntzer's flash cooldown will be the single most important summoner spell cooldown in this entire game moving forward for both teams to keep track of.
Yeah, going to be a really, really big deal. Again, looking at the Golden Guardians composition, they've got frontline, they've got a mix of damage types. I think their lanes look pretty solid. We know, again, Galio, yeah, he's not going to have pressure against Cassiopeia, most certainly, but he can at least stack a magic resist pretty cleanly and feel okay about that one. You know, get the Adaptive Helm or an Abyssal Mask early on and kind of withstand that lane, and then just get out somewhere else and feel pretty comfortable. I've been liking FBI and Huhi quite a lot overall. Not sure they're going to have a ton of pressure. Ashe poke is only going to be so good, but they can at least survive ganks on that side. So I like what that look is. I like that composition. On the 100 Thieves side, though, we do have another game of Ssumday on something that can take over the game. His third Renekton game, right? They've gotten him off on duty since week 1 and it's saying, hey, let's give you some more pressure. And if they can have some top pressure come out of the jungle, if they can get Contractz up there for some ganks, Ssumday can 1v9 games like usual.
And it's really interesting, too, because Golden Guardians were hovering the super hard lane counter of Quinn into Renekton. And that, you know, you use the dash, you try and interrupt. And they went with the Kennen. It can be a much harder lane counter if you go attack speed on hit Kennen and you go AD Kennen. But it's so much more important to the team overall that he go AP for their 5v5 that I'm very curious to see how important they value shutting down Ssumday specifically. His build path is going to give you a lot of insight into Golden Guardians thinking behind this Kennen pick. And since they didn't go with the Quinn, it makes me think that they're going to try and just get by with the earlier levels of you start with the Doran's Blade, and then you can build into Proto Belt and you can build into Zhonya's and these AP items for the Kennen to have it be impactful for the team fights later. But you still get the edge of I'm ranged matchup, I have the stuns that can come out from my Ws, and you get your extra harassment of the Doran's Blade.
All right, so here we go. Might see a late invade. That Trinket Ward well placed to spot it. It's kind of nice. It tracks most movements out there, and indeed, they're going to try. Sweeper was in range. Gold gets handed off to FBI, shared alongside Closer, and they're going to look for that late invade on the bottom side, which, hey, by the way, already sniffed out by 100 Thieves. They've already sent Contractz to the top side, and this is going to be difficult for Hauntzer. He's already been stunned up once. Ssumday going to go for the dash, and Hauntzer doesn't want to lose 300 health coming in a lane. He's going to flash early instead.
Yeah, smart there from Contractz. He does not level an ability early. When they see Hauntzer on the invade, he levels his Q, goes for the stun, gets a summoner spell immediately, and that is going to reduce so much of the counter for the lane pick. Early on, Kennen wants to try and harass Renekton, obviously, by his Doran start. You get your autos off, you drop into the brush to drop minion aggro, but that is going to be so much more difficult now that they have split the map, and he has no flash.
Well, it's going to be a trade of red buff on the side of the map, but of course Graves, a faster clearing jungler, knocks on the chickens, gets back to his jungle the same time that Contractz does. Almost had a mid lane gank. Nice play that was damage on the Huhi, and really level 2 doesn't increase the damage of Tahm Kench very much, so that's not going to mean too much here. Easy pickup with the blue for Closer once he's done autoing it a couple more times, and Red will burn that one down, and he can go on for the next couple of camps right there. So yeah, we'll keep that roughly 1 camp lead for the Golden Guardians jungler. We'll wait to see what comes through later on as they scale up and get more items and look for those big plays.
Yeah, you mentioned the faster clearing. That's just an issue that's exacerbated by the fact that he had to level Q to burn the flash of Kennen. If you're not starting W, your first camp's going to be a lot slower there. Took him a while to do the red. He's seen on the tri-brush ward, and Closer's already here with double buff, so this is really dangerous. The Contractz might have flash.
Doesn't know they know it's going to be some decent damage, and yeah, that would have almost been a stun on Kennen. One more strike would have done it as soon as the autos come through. Now Damonte has to be respectful. Gets a bit of poke on Ryoma. Came up to help make sure if there was a fight happening. There wasn't. Ultimately is okay here. Ryoma will get most of the farm. There's the easy Twin Fang. There's the second one. And those are all his minions.
And one of the big things I like about that counter pick in mid lane, the Cassiopeia into the Galio, is that not only do you have really good scaling DPS options for later for the Cassiopeia, because she has a really easy farm lane early on versus the Galio, especially if it doesn't get ganked. But Miasma is so good against Galio now that he can't do, comp flashes and stuff like that. If you shut down the Justice Punch, the only mobility from Galio comes from the Summoner Spellbook usage with all the extra speed that you get off Nimbus Cloak and cycling those summoner spells. So those are really only like surprise cards that you now have to worry about. And Cassiopeia has a lot of answers with ult and Miasma.
Fights aren't too heavy up in the top-hand side. Hauntzer slightly down in CS, but a lot of that is the wave is pushing into him. Contractz, though, wants a dive, and this time around, they've got the squad around. Hauntzer is suddenly going to be in a lot of danger. Can TP come in? Yep, they've got a Galio coming around, and that's going to be able to call off the dive, but that is still a TP burned, and it's the mid laner forced out of lane, and as long as they can get some wards down, that gank won't happen again, but it is still a nice attempted gank for Contractz.
He's investing a lot of time into this Ssumday win condition. And that's what you talked about. Fans have been crying for 400 Thieves.
Yeah.
Like, get Ssumday on a carry champion, get him some resources. And they're like, okay, here you go. You got Renekton, one of the biggest lane bullies, and they're sending Contractz up there 24/7, repeat ganks. This does mean, especially since you're playing versus Graves, the Graves should always take those opportunities to go counter jungle you. Closer has done exactly that and has earned himself a level lead up several camps now. And you have to start to worry about control of dragons and possible dragon stacking for Golden Guardians if you invest that much onto the top side of the map.
Nice hit there by Ssumday, knocks about a half of Hauntzer's health bar. As you mentioned, both junglers recall. Closer is up a longsword in gold right now. They recalled almost the exact same time, and even that's not really true because he has longsword and the Volibear has boots. Otherwise, the items are pretty close together. You did mention the level lead, though. That one is holding true. Hawkshot's going to try to reveal what else might be happening. Is anyone lane ganking? No, but it did spot Volibear up on Krug, so good aim there by FBI. Make sure he knows what's going on. Yes, jungler bot side. If you want to steal wolves, that's yours if you want it.
I'm always, again, it just drives me so much more into the match when you have these situations like Contractz finally getting his resurgence into the LCS, and his first game is against the Golden Guardians, which he spent 2 years with and got benched and got traded away. You know that there's definitely extra incentive for him to really do well, to prove himself versus his team and versus their new jungler Closer. So his focus on top side, I don't expect that to change. I expect him to continue try and focus on Ssumday's lane, and that would mean, and that would also entail getting the Rift Trailed in 1.5 minutes, because Closer already for Golden Guardians with his big level lead, and Graves should easily be able to take out the dragon, and does so.
Gets that one, no problem. You saw him earlier go for the Scryer's Boom, make sure there's no wards in the pit. There weren't, and he's able to take it down. Neither bot lane has recalled yet. We expect that to come down pretty soon. You want to get your items on board as kind of fast as you can, and you can easily get a BF sword recall for Aphelios here for Cody Sun. You can get Cutlass plus boots for the Ashe, no problem. And we'll see what comes through as Closer wants to again keep the invade going. Has the level lead, but Poome is going to move first. That means his invade will not matter. And as the red goes down, Contractz gets a bit closer in the farm game. A bit closer in XP. Still not 6 though. Has to still lick those wounds.
Yep, and again, that's for the repeat ganks up onto the top side, which, look at the CS. Hauntzer's got his flash back, and his CS is still ahead of Ssumday. Ooh, it looks like he got a little bit of minion block there. Couldn't get in range for the Q to quite touch that one, but Hauntzer's dealing with the pressure thus far completely fine.
You can see the gold's actually still fairly close between the two, despite the CS lead. The minions, the ones that are killed, plus specifically the plate knockdown in topside, is making that different from what the CSD shows you. Lane pressure has been Ssumday's way. Now Closer gonna be on the ward. Contractz is here, 1v1. Again, not level 6 for the Volibear, but still gonna push Closer backwards. Misses the Q, might have to jump over the wall. And he's gonna wait around for that cooldown. And there we go. He ults just to be sure. Was afraid someone collapsing on him. Says, in case Cassiopeia lands Miasma, I am dead. So burn the cooldown, no big deal.
And the most critical part of that interaction, because both sides felt like they were baiting, the extra ward there for 100 Thieves gave them the confidence that with Poome already rotating from bottom side and leaving Cody Sun by himself, actually. Let's see if he gets out of this one.
Ooh, he's going to land the slow, exhaust for more. Cody Sun's going to kite it back, finally burns the cleanse to walk away, but that is still a nice ult for Huhi. Burns off the cleanse, makes him deny some farm. This XP and gold is not being gained, and the plate is grabbed easily by FBI. I do love Boots 2 first for Ashe a lot, by the way. Just making sure you're in range of the slow chain. You can run someone down forever, as well as kiting the Renekton. Pretty valuable.
Yep, definitely agree there. But again, the critical part there was that Poome was roaming, and he being next to Damonte and holding his death sentence meant that Galio ult could not come through to turn the jungle. That's what you're counting on with Damonte and Closer. Big part of their game plan, they've done this multiple times, is Damonte being able to join in on Closer's invades, and that's what they were looking for there. But since Poome had roamed and he was threatening crowd control on the Galio, it meant that Closer had to back out and cede territory. Again, it costed them bottom lane pressure though. Cody Sun only had to use his cleanse, so not too big of a toll as far as the summoner spells.
Check it on mid lane real quick. 14 CS lead for Ryoma. Again, somewhat expected here with Counterfeit coming through, but the overall game state is a 1 to 200 gold lead for Golden Guardians, as once again Hauntzer and Ssumday do battle. And despite the fact that Volibear has shown up a few times, of course he's gotten his own help, like Damonte's TP being one of those examples, and they've still been holding on pretty close to equal. Small farm lead versus plate means those two are close together. There's the mid lane push, and nice roam again by Poome to hold it and make sure Ryoma can get all the golden XP. Flays it for some more ease, and yeah, no problem. Contractz, however, is my farm.
Yeah, definitely need to pass through mid lane, get a little bit of a soakage experience on the way to the bottom camps. Help catch up a little bit, because the main thing that's been holding up Golden Guardians here is their good defense. And if you have good defense and you're able to take advantage of the opportunities for Graves to grind out these farm leads during your good defense, that costs you Damonte's teleport, as well as the roams, as well as Hauntzer playing defensively when his flash was down. All those things have been checked, and now Golden Guardians, since they've gotten to the break point, Graves on warrior completion is a huge power spike over a Volibear with just pieces here. If Closer can find that fight and force the fight by invading, and then have Damonte not in range of someone with crowd control to be able to follow with the Galio ultimate, that's what they're looking for. FBI does have the Ashe arrow, so he could start it out. That's why Closer is hovering around.
Nice little bit of damage there on an FBI, but he's still pretty comfortable. Has the Vamp Scepter, so when he hits minions, he's going to be fine. Gets away from turret aggro, gets some decent poke. 2 more autos will knock that one down. They can use Tom Catch if they need to, and ultimately not going to go for the hook, not going to really find a play down there. Still cleanseless on the Aphelios for just under a minute left. If there is a good play to be had, they can maybe force him down. Still has flash though and everything else. You can see the gold difference. The bot lane 600. FBI and Huhi very far ahead down here. They've been one of the bright points, I would say, for Golden Guardians. Honestly, a team that I'm just kind of surprised is 2-4, because I feel like all their players are playing well, and they just, well, just barely come away with losses in a lot of these games. 100 Thieves right now, you can see an 800 gold deficit. Golden Guardians taking care of business in the early game, which is default for them. Golden Guardians early game is the second best in the league, all things considered, but that's just turned into only 2 wins, as their mid game is usually falling apart. And we're getting to that point now.
Yeah, and we might get to the point we were talking about where it all explodes.
Yeah, they're going to try it right now. Huhi's in the front line, goes into half HP, flashes backwards, but here is the Volibear in front. Galio shows up as well. The stun over the wall, and that's going to be a kill for Ryoma. Nowhere else to go. Those going to be shut down. 2 for 1 so far in this fight, and Golden Guardians are on the chase. Hauntzer is here. The ulti's going to find his first stun. One more auto might do it. Cody Sun's going to drop, as will his support. A 4-1 team fight. Hauntzer shows up, and Ssumday didn't have TP. He's only got turret plates.
We need to take a picture of 2 minutes ago when we were talking about Closer on these invade junglers with Damonte, Galio ultimate coming down. That's what the Golden Guardians are looking for. Moments before everything goes tragically wrong for 100 Thieves. Yeah. As not only is it a Galio ultimate, but an extra teleport. Some days, I was looking at it, was just barely still on cooldown from the last time that he used it to get back to the top side. And Hauntzer, in those last few seconds of difference of top lane teleports, he gets down there for 2 more kills using his flash for Golden Guardians to be able to stack up that second dragon. As mentioned previously, though, Contractz turns to the Rift Herald. We'll be able to pick this up in time to use it for turret plates, which is a pretty good consolation prize, honestly, even though 100 Thieves just got completely blasted on the bottom half of the map. This is a very good chunk of gold that you can also semi-funnel into one of your very strong scaling carries of Aphelios and Cassiopeia, which are 2 of the best late-game champions that we have, in all of League of Legends.
Yeah, gonna be scary. Watch this fight again, though. Closer wants in. They see Contractz, like, yep, this is the play. Last pan in. Come join me.
They've been itching to use the Graves aggression plus Galio ultimate this whole game, and here's their chance. So they start the fight. Contractz goes in to try and finish the kill on Huhi because Ryoma was right there. With the Galio ultimate shields, that's an extra magic damage shield, and it stalls Ryoma's damage long enough that Ryoma has to commit right into his face to be able to get that kill. And since Contractz was already down, and Hauntzer's teleport advantage over Ssumday, as previously mentioned, allows Golden Guardians to have 5 members there to just clean up all these extra kills.
at that. Golden Guardians 2,000 gold lead at the pretty early stage of the game, 14 minutes in. Usually we mark these at 15, and PK would be a very nice one for them, a bit above their average, but again, normally very good early games. 2 Drakes picked up. Ocean Soul going to be the option here if they can get 2 more. That's always nice. It's very, very strong, and honestly, this is looking pretty good for Golden Guardians so far. The lanes have been moved around. It's now with the AD carries going into the top side, of the top laners going to the bottom side of the map. There's no Drake kill for a while, but you can always go for second Herald before too terribly long.
Yeah, just saw on your minimap on the bottom side too, Contractz was going for a lane gank to lane gank behind Ssumday. Ryoma's getting 3 people though. He should be able to back off. But as you can see on the minimap, there was a control ward there, which again saves Hauntzer some of this harassment. And you gotta really tip your hat to Hauntzer in this game. He's played it extremely well, and this is going to be one of the big differences. As expected, he's going with the AP Kennen build after the Doran start. Well, there we get our action now.
Proto boat forward, lands the taunt, even despite the flash burst damage. He needs the ult, it's gonna land. Flash away from Contractz, but will there be follow through? A flash in for Ssumday. They've got to have the damage, but wait, Galio and Tahm Kench are here. They don't have it at all. Hauntzer on the way up as well. A second knockup on a Ssumday. He's flashless, he's ultless, he's gonna run out of health, he's gonna go down. Now Poome and Contractz are on the way out. A lantern brings one to safety. A turret goes down to the top side. That's gonna be some extra gold, but I'll take the team fight. I'll take the mid lane turret as well.
Yep, thumbs up there from Damonte as the Golden Guardians will reap the rewards. Oh my goodness, he's calling it 2. Game over. They opened up the mid tower after another successful collapse for them. Ryoma just got comboed so well. Damonte right up into his face, chains him so that Closer can get there. Red Smite burn as well, going to do the job. So Closer was able to back off, and you could tell how desperate 100 Thieves were to try and get the counter kill here. Here's another look at it. Again, Ryoma, he does have to worry about Justice Punch into Proto Belt, dodges the ultimate. Oh my goodness, Damonte. That Proto Belt right to the side of the cone. Very clean. Then again, Closer with the escape is able to get the Galio ultimate into the Tahm Kench Devours. They just shoot him right out the backside of that little team fight there. And then 100 Thieves are completely surrounded because Golden Guardians collapse first. Again, they get a consolation prize, a little bit of gold on the backside as Aphelios was able to take down top turret. So Cody Sun did get a bit more money, but Golden Guardians with back-to-back team fight victories does look like they can continue with their dragon stacking win condition.
Yeah, next one spawns in 50 seconds, looking pretty convenient for them. I will say the gold lead did not stretch by as much as I would have thought based on how that team fight went. Solo first turret gold up to the Aphelios, obviously very impactful. Cody Sun scaling up nicely. The gold lead was 2K, it's only become 2,500. Not that stark of a difference from before, but obviously we are seeing that Golden Guardians are the far better team fighters, far better at collapsing and supporting their team right now. We'll see if that can turn around with 100 Thieves. They're looking to claw their way up. Their goals were to make Worlds, and that means you end Summer Split in top 3. Right now they're bottom 2, and they've got to make their way up from there, but so far against Golden Guardians it is not happening. See if they can keep growing, but this is not the making of a win just yet. They collapse in the mid lane. Drake's for 10.
People look back to the beginning of this game and how we got here. A lot of what isn't working, like you're talking about, is the early game plan of Renekton Volibear, which on paper sounds great. It can be super impressive. Try and have repeat ganks on top side. They burned the Kennen Splash level 1 even on the invade. You know, as Golden Guardians are going to see the 2-stack Dragon, there's nothing that you can do about it, but that has probably been the major failing thus far in the first game for the new roster for 100 Thieves, was that focus, because it didn't even amount to a CS lead or gold lead for Ssumday individually, or you know, control really of that area of the map, because Golden Guardians have so many defensive answers. Damonte's teleport, roaming up Closer there for defending against the dive, and Hauntzer himself waiting out the flash cooldown. Just, you know, so much patience, I would say, with this roster for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far. We're going to see Ocean Soul in 4.5 minutes, most likely, as Hauntzer and Ssumday are in a battle. Ssumday really wants in, going to tank the first one, the second one no problem as well, and now this fight's going to look pretty nice. Next time he's going to pick stun, it could be a kill on the Hauntzer. He's going to Proto Belt away, he's going to burn his Zonias, but no one is around to help it. There's the shutdown coming through. Ssumday with an easy solo kill on the top side.
Ssumday is like, you talking about me, sir? I'm going to have to kill somebody then. And Hauntzer's right in front of him. They take down the prize. 100 Thieves looking for another pick mid.
FBI almost in danger. He's going to get shot a little bit, but he's got lifesteal. It's not going to be a big problem for him. And yeah, going to knock down these minions without much issue at all. But that is a nice one, right? That is the makings of coming back into the game. The gold difference, again, only 2,000 here. Sidestep on the hook. That could have been a kill into Huhi. He didn't have a good way out, but here comes the stun. You're going to land on a Poome. Burns the stopwatch now into Cody Sun. He's forced to flash away. Here comes Galio. Can't find a knock. The rest of the team is running away, but they're still trying to find round 2. Good play backwards, but he will go down. A kill picked up in Retribution into the mid lane.
Yeah, big move again. Golden Guardians making good use of that Galio ultimate to chase them off. They get down Poome. They lost the side lane as Ssumday was able to take the tower after getting his kill on the Hauntzer, but because they strike back mid, it's an answer in a secondary turret. Wide open lane here in the mid lane as Golden Guardians make a pretty deep push.
Well, again, 2,500 the gold lead. Turret score 3-2. Kill score 7-2. There's some farm and a few members, but otherwise it's been a tough road here for 100 Thieves. We'll see if somebody can keep winning in the side lane. Again, it is worth pointing out that Golden Guardians very much are a team fight focused composition, and if 100 Thieves can split them up, if Ssumday can be the really, really big 1v1 champion that forces Golden Guardians to play differently, that can be a way into the game.
Might be able to open up some options for them. It's going to be difficult with 2 minutes 30 seconds on the Ocean Soul arriving, which is a really easy point for Golden Guardians to force at because it's such an easy objective to take and has such big rewards. That's this is probably the main difficulty, main problem posed to 100 Thieves, and I think you're right. They're going to have to get very creative in their solution to this problem because Golden Guardians will have their Damonte ultimate right back up. So you get your layers of your AoE, flash on Hauntzer, which in Champ Selects, we were talking about being the single most important summer spell, is available for Golden Guardians. So honestly, they are just itching for this Soul Dragon to arrive so they can make use of those AoE tools. Poome looking to cut them off a little bit before that Dragon does arrive.
Yeah, the hook's not going to mean too much though. Going to walk away from that one. It actually is going to mean his Aftershock's on cooldown, but it shouldn't matter. It's way shorter cooldown than this Dragon spawn, so shouldn't be an issue for him, but worth thinking about potentially at some point in time. Gold lead still 2,500. It has flattened somewhat, and this is, again, not necessarily a problem. As we've talked about several times, Golden Guardians are stacking up Drakes, but they are not accruing gold leads. You compare to teams like, say, Cloud9 with a lead this good, this early, they probably would have killed 3 more turrets and 7 more champions. Like, just the amount of pressure they put on, the amount of times they look for a fight. Golden Guardians playing a bit more reserved style, and they say, hey, look, if we get the Ocean Soul 1 minute from now, that's enough, no risks until then, and that might serve them pretty well, but we'll see if they can make this one work. They have failed to close out games before, and this always seems something in the back of my mind until this game actually drops out. They have let games slip before, even with Ocean Soul.
I would also credit some 100 Thieves kind of stemming the bleeding as they've done a decent job of not letting it grow as well. With top tower going down though, teleports are available, and we are only 35 seconds away from the all-important Soul Drake. 100 Thieves currently do have full vision control over it, which is a great setup. And I like that you keep on bringing up kind of the hovering gold values for 100 Thieves because, again, they do have some very strong scaling carries for themselves.
Yes.
Might be a little difficult, and we'll have to see how they can get the CC down to set those carries up, though, and avoid all of the AoE that comes from this Golden Guardians team fight.
Good early damage, but Huhi had Honey Fruit next to him, so he's going to gain most of that health back up. Drake has spawned. Hauntzer gets vision. This is the 5v5 that determines almost everything. 2 major items done on the primary carries of 100 Thieves. Ryoma and Cody Sun are ready to brawl. Contractz in the front line. Level 11 on the Volibear has momentarily closed the level lead to only 1. And Golden Guardians say, okay, we're going to come around on the right-hand side. Hauntzer, though, going to be found in the brush. Big stuns on him. He's got to be respectful here. He's going to go for the ulti. He finds the stun, but Ryoma's going to stay alive. Galio up in front. Ssumday gets away. He's going to stay alive. Backline axe for Contractz. 1 for 0, though, as the support drops down. Damonte on the board. Ryoma going to drop as well. 2 for 0, and now Huhi's going to try to find a slow and a Contractz, and that might just be enough. They've got a lot of champions dead, and Contractz flash list is likely to be the 3rd. How do you get away from this one? The taunt's going to land. The slows are there. A 3 for 0, and 100 Thieves are routed. Ocean Soul is going to go to Golden Guardians.
Phreak, quick, pretend to be a jungle creep or something. He's a bear in the jungle. Don't kill me. Golden Guardians are not having any of it, though. not only did they get their perfect setup for this Phreak, I mean, Hauntzer got right into this side brush. Perfect flank for him. He didn't even have to flash in, even though Damonte wasn't quite in range for an instant Galio ultimate. With the Zhonya's, Hauntzer's able to survive just plenty long for Golden Guardians. So that means Ocean Soul and Baron and Phreak, that is about as much value as you can get within a single minute span as is possible in League of Legends. So Golden Guardians, they make the critical teamfight victory there with a really nice slip into the brush there from Hauntzer, and able to collapse there, layering those AoE CCs. 100 Thieves now, they got to work overtime in trying to find some gold and play defense for a good, probably 10+ minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. They shrink the gold lead to 6K as the middle turret falls, and some more gold going into Cody Sun's pockets. But until he can free fire in a team fight, he didn't die in the last one, but couldn't find any kills either. He can't really open up. It's not going to mean a whole lot. Wave clear in the mid lane, no big problem, but there's a couple minutes left that might get shepherded into the inhibitor. We'll see as they move forward. We got Galio heading top side. Kennen's over in the bottom lane. He's going to be able to TP back in if he needs to. Spellbook's over to an Ignite, so that he can burn that one if that's going to find himself an opportunity.
These are the moments in the game, Phreak, where I call for my patented Goon Squad strategy. And the Goon Squad strategy is when you are this far behind, as 100 Thieves, you got to group up as a 5-man Goon Squad and just rush down somebody and try and pick off a kill. Because if the enemy team even has close to even numbers in a fight, then you lose. So you're going to have to group up and look for some multi-person action. Hauntzer might be the target. Let's see if they can get it here.
Well, the difficulty, they go for Hauntzer. They're going to lose the entire inhibitor side. They're going to go for it here. Hauntzer E is on cooldown. Contractz here for the 2v1. Ultimate's going to get popped. This is going to be a lot of danger for poor Kennen. Doesn't have a ton of move speed. He's going to try. Protobelt's around for some damage. He is going to go down. But that means the dive happens to the top side. They're pushing for the turret right away. They're going to go for the inhibitor itself as well as closer shepherds in mid. Ryoma chunked down to half HP, but the recall's going to come through soon. In about 3 seconds, reinforcements will have arrived. Does that give enough time for Golden Guardians? Both turrets are gone, but now Contractz is here with home guards. This is maybe the play. Poome flashes in for the double play. FBI going to be the set here as well. This is going to be a lot of damage. However, he is taunted. He is forced away. The shutdown does come through. A 1 for 0, and this is going to be the second one as well. Huhi does not have the way out. The hook is going to land, and that is the small moment that they needed. Ssumday even there to stop to dash away for Damonte. Means he can dash in, find his own stun. Kennen comes out. Damonte's going to keep running. Mobies? Swifty's not going to be enough there, and Poome will not get a third kill. Those turrets were traded for 2 champion kills, plus 1 hawk for the bot lane.
Out of a doomsday situation, Phreak, they're able to do it. The patented technology. You just group up, you try and get an unfair fight. They picked off Hauntzer, and they opened up this tiny, tiny crack of an opportunity. 100 Thieves taking what is not given to them, surely, in this game, as they're able to win the team fight off of a Ocean Soul Baroned up Golden Guardian squad that has a tremendous synergy built up between all the champions. They take down the Kennen. That's a critical piece of it, and they're able to stall this one out. All that being said, all that celebration for 100 Thieves, the road is going to be long, and it's going to be a very arduous journey to come back and to feed your Cassiopeia, to feed your Aphelios, so a lot of extra gold. But they have taken the first step, and that was repelling the Golden Guardians' Baron push.
Alrighty, so gold lead shrinks to only 5,000. It was 6K. They brought it a little bit back, so we'll see if that can keep going. Death Stance is on the way for Cody Sun. It'll make him nigh immortal when that does come through, so we'll see if that free firing can work out well for the guy. QS has picked up for FBI, none yet for Huhi, so he can still be the target. I know we often see Quicksilver Sash come through for Tahm Kenches because they can save someone else, but ironically they can't save themselves. I've heard that quote before. We'll see it again maybe in this game, but regardless, the wave's still getting pushed in. Closer's the one to get the gold right now. So FBI comes down, and 14 Ashe definitely going to do plenty of damage here.
Yeah, we need to see relentless pressure from the Golden Guardians right now. They still have the Ocean Soul. Contractz does get the smite for the slow, but they're unable to chase down Closer. It is a phase rush Graves, so it's going to be very slippery. Golden Guardians, though, again, yeah, returning to the extra pressure here. 1 minute on this Elder Dragon spawn. Your top objective, if you could get this top inhibitor down before the Elder Dragon spawn, that makes it so much easier, for you to have this push and pull pincer movement. 100 Thieves are trying to take advantage of this, 55 seconds that they have left before that objective does spawn.
This may be the moment they're going to find some damage. The closer on a half HP. They're the hook in the front line there as well. Means damage in a Huhi, but Contractz forced back out, and Hauntzer had a very deep ward to teleport to it. It forces the rest of the to walk backwards. They could not let their backline be on top of the Kennen. A fight there between Damonte and Ssumday doesn't end in too much, but it means both inhibitors are down, and even without Baron buff, they've still got the Ocean Soul. They can siege this as long as they want and believe their opponents out of resources. Elder Dragon in 25 seconds. Golden Guardians don't have a way for the bot lane. It's Nexus or nothing. And right now, looks like Golden Guardians not going to get nerfed out of this one. They're going to walk their way towards that bottom river soon.
Yeah, they've done it. They got their objective. The top inhibitor's down, Phreak. They've got 2 inhibitors down with Elder Dragon spawning and an AoE wombo combo. This is another dream setup for them.
Here we go. Looking for the ward control, looking to see that control ward spawned, and not going to back down. Means fog of war this entire route over. The only thing 100 Thieves can see is that brush next to mid lane. And Golden Guardians don't have to walk by it, they don't have to walk through it. But Contractz going to try again for some of the front line. They need to take this fight before Elder Dragon. They're going to go for their very best attempt on a 1k HP. A hook again on the front line. Closer around the back. Hauntzer here as well. Galio over the top. And it's going to find Poome, who has nowhere to go, and he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Hauntzer, though, dangerously low as well, is a trade of kills, and one that is a positive for 100 Thieves. Ryoma Chunk Low won't yet die. FBI wants in, and he's not going to open up just yet. But this taunt, though, that's going to be it. That's going to be 2 kills to the back line. Ssumday can try his best, but it cannot be enough. Knocked into the air. Guardian Angel going to be popped. Ashe still alive. Closer flashes in for Cody Sun. He's gonna have the damage. He's unstoppable. There's the thinking emoji out of Damonte, and the TP to close out the game. Golden Guardians will improve to 3 wins, and they will knock down this different 100 Thieves lineup. The better team on paper. The composition run well. Golden Guardians edging closer to 50-50.
Damonte able to make the re-engage there. There was a slight opening for 100 Thieves, but none able to make it happen. Golden Guardians push it ahead. Pretty clean game from them, honestly.
Yeah.
In the last ultimate from Ryoma too, I was trying to think back if he has stunned a single person with his ultimate in this game, because so many of them people turn their backs to or wasn't able to get them.
Yeah. He stunned Huhi when he was stuck in the bottom river on that, like, the big 3-for-1 or 4-for-1 team fight. That's the one stun I saw. That said, though, point taken. Yes, did not have the greatest of games. Ryoma was not really able to open up on a much. Certainly Golden Guardians, the better performing team out of this one. And again, on paper, I expected that. I think Golden Guardians were better than a 2-4 team. I think they have some slightly easier games coming up for them, which I think they should clean up here as well. And we'll see how much that can move around. On the 100 Thieves side, though, it's the first game of the lineup. I do think this team can improve. I do think, though, it is still an uphill road for them, and it's going to be a difficult one. So we'll see how they can perform in the last, 12 or so games of the split. Now, before we go to the break, the LCS would like to recognize the passing of a cherished member of the gaming community, Byron Reckful Bernstein. We mourn his loss, and we have his family, friends, and fans in our hearts.